Most players think training alone is boring, or worse, pointless. They tell themselves, football is a team sport, so why should I waste time juggling in the backyard or kicking against a wall? But here's the truth. Every legend you admire, from Cristiano Ronaldo to Neymar to Maradona, built their greatness when nobody was watching. The hours alone, the mistakes, the endless repetition, that's where their secret weapon was forged. And that's the difference between the players who blend in and the ones who dominate. Because when you learn how to train by yourself the right way, you improve faster than your teammates. You walk onto the pitch sharper, and suddenly, people notice. But here's the catch. Most players train alone the wrong way. They overtrain, repeat the same drills like robots, or worse, they focus on the wrong things entirely. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually train alone. So every touch, every rep, every session pushes you closer to becoming the player you dream of being. Why training alone is the secret weapon. Everyone agrees football is a team sport. You need teammates, chemistry, and game awareness. That part is true, but here's what nobody tells you. The players who separate themselves from the pack are the ones who don't wait for training sessions to get better. Think about it. Team training isn't designed for you, it's designed for the team. Coaches focus on tactics, formations, and preparing for the next match. That means your weaknesses, your first touch, your weak foot, your finishing, those things often get ignored. That's why every great player you admire used solo training as their personal weapon. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't become Ronaldo by only showing up to team practice. Neymar didn't sharpen his dribbling instincts just by listening to a coach. And Maradona, he was notorious for spending hours alone with the ball, perfecting the tiniest details. Training alone is where you build the parts of your game that nobody else is responsible for. It's where you turn weaknesses into strengths and learn to trust yourself under pressure. The truth is, solo work is the fastest way to outgrow your teammates. Because while they're waiting for training to start, you're already evolving. But there's a catch. If you do it wrong, solo training can actually hold you back. Overtraining, sloppy drills, mindless repetition, these mistakes ruin more players than they help.
So the first step is knowing how to structure it properly. And that begins with something most players completely overlook: your plan. The first mistake players make when they decide to train extra is that they don't have a plan. They just grab a ball, go outside, and start kicking around. It feels like work, but in reality, it's wasted time. If you want your solo training to actually make you better, you need structure. That means pulling out a calendar, or even just a piece of paper, and mapping your week. Why? Because football isn't only about what you do, it's about what your body can recover from. Here's the brutal truth. If you train without balance, you won't improve. You'll burn out. You'll feel heavy, stiff, maybe even injured. And all that hard work will actually slow you down instead of pushing you forward. So here's how you do it smart. If you already train with your team 3 times per week, you add 3 solo sessions around that. That leaves 1 full day for complete rest. Not light jogging, not a sneaky pickup game, real recovery. Watch a match, go for a walk, stretch, recharge your mind and your body. Think of it like this. 3 days of team football sharpen your tactical understanding. 3 days of solo work rebuild your individual skills. And that 1 rest day, that's where your body locks in all the progress you've made. Without recovery, your training means nothing. With it, every session becomes more powerful. But planning is just the beginning. The real difference shows up when you decide what to focus on in those solo sessions. And the first thing on that list isn't shooting or fitness, it's instinct. Football is played at a speed your brain can't keep up with. A defender closes you down in half a second, the ball bounces awkwardly, a teammate makes a run you didn't expect, and in that split second, you either react or you lose the moment. That's why instinct is the hidden weapon of elite players. It's the reason some players look 2 steps ahead while others look lost. Without instinct, you hesitate, you look predictable, and defenders read you like a book. With instinct, the game slows down, and suddenly everything feels natural. The problem? Most players never train it. They drill cones like robots, trying to memorize patterns, but real football doesn't follow a script. That's why you need a system that activates your instinct every time you train alone. Here's how it works. Step 1. Warm up with ball mastery. Spend 15 to 20 minutes connecting with the ball. Slow, controlled touches. Inside, outside, sole rolls, toe taps. Not rushed, not mindless. Every touch intentional, like you're teaching your body to listen to the ball again. Step 2. Shadow dribbling. This is where instinct comes alive. Take the ball, find space, and dribble freely. No cones, no set moves. Imagine defenders chasing you, pressure closing in, and react in real time. Change direction, explode into space, fake, improvise. You're training your subconscious, not just your technique. Step 3. Skill installation. Here's the secret to embedding moves into your instinct. First, pick one skill. Let's say a step over. Do it slowly, even standing still. Feel the weight shift, the hip fake, the ankle movement. Then add speed. Jog while doing it. Sprint with it. Layer control and pace until it feels natural. Finally, drop it into your shadow dribbling. Don't force it, let your body decide when to use it. That's instinct. And here's the best part. You repeat this cycle every week with a new skill. 1 week a step over, the next a croqueta, the next a fake shot. Slowly, you build an arsenal of moves that live in your subconscious. There's even a variation I call the combo flow. Start juggling, then kick the ball into the air, control it cleanly, and flow straight into instinct dribbling. It forces you to adapt instantly, just like in a real game. This is how you hardwire instinct into your game. And once you've built that, every other skill becomes easier. But instinct alone isn't enough, because if your first touch is sloppy, none of it matters. Before you can dribble, pass, or shoot, you need to control the ball. And if your first touch is sloppy, you're already a step behind. That's why coaches in every academy hammer this skill from day one. Because in real matches, the ball rarely comes to you perfectly. It bounces, it spins, it arrives too hard or too soft. And if you can't tame it instantly, the opportunity is gone. Here's the truth. The difference between an average player and a pro often comes down to the first touch. You can be the fastest player on the pitch, but if you lose control every time the ball reaches you, none of that speed matters. So how do you fix it? You make your first touch a daily habit. Step 1, juggling every day. Juggling isn't some party trick. It's the foundation of ball control. Start with the basics. Drop the ball, kick it once, catch it. Repeat. Then push for 2 touches. Then 3. Switch feet. Mix in your thighs, your chest, even your head. Aim for consistency, not flash. 30 minutes a day of juggling will transform your relationship with the ball. Step 2, wall touches. Find a wall and pass against it. Control the rebound with 1 clean touch, then pass again. The wall never lies. If your technique is sloppy, the ball will fly off. If it's clean, it comes straight back. Do this for 20 minutes, both feet. Step 3, wall juggling. Take it further by juggling, striking the ball against the wall, and controlling it again without losing rhythm. This forces you to adapt instantly, exactly like in a match when the ball doesn't behave the way you expect. Step 4, cushion plus pass drill. Kick the ball high into the air, cushion it calmly with 1 touch, and immediately play a pass to a target. Then repeat. This teaches you how to control high balls under pressure and transition into play smoothly, just like you'd see in a real game. And here's the key, don't rush. Don't do sloppy touches just to get reps in. Every touch should be intentional, like it's happening in front of thousands of fans with the defender closing you down. That's how you build match-ready technique, because when your first touch is sharp, everything else, instinct, passing, finishing, suddenly looks effortless. But speaking of passing, most players think you need teammates to improve it. The reality? The best passer you'll ever train with is a wall. Here's a truth that shocks a lot of players. You don't need 10 teammates to master passing. You only need 1 reliable partner, and it never gets tired, never complains, and never misses training. That partner is the wall. Think about it. Every pass you play to a wall comes back instantly. If it's clean, it rewards you. If it's sloppy, it punishes you. And the wall will repeat that feedback 1,000 times without ever getting bored. That's why some of the greatest midfielders, Xavi, Iniesta, Modric, spend hours doing wall drills. So how do you turn a wall into your training partner? Drill 1, 1-touch rhythm. Stand close to the wall and play quick 1-touch passes. Left foot, right foot, alternate every strike. Start slow, then push the tempo. The goal isn't power, it's precision. Feel the rhythm, like you're building a metronome in your feet. Drill 2, 2-touch control. Step back a little. Pass the ball, control it with your first touch, then return it with your second. This forces you to control the ball cleanly before releasing it. Imagine a defender is on your back. You only get 1 touch to settle and 1 touch to escape. Drill 3, weak foot isolation. Here's where most players fail. They pass 90% of the time with their strong foot and never develop balance. Dedicate entire sets to your weaker foot. It'll feel awkward, it'll feel frustrating, but this is where the biggest growth happens. Drill 4, moving passes. Don't stay static. Pass against the wall while jogging side to side. Pass while moving forward. Pass while moving backwards. Football isn't played standing still, so neither should your passing drills. Drill 5, vision training. This one changes everything. Before you receive the ball back from the wall, quickly glance over your shoulder, then control and pass. At first it feels silly, there's no one there, but over time, you're rewiring your brain to check your surroundings before every touch. That's what world-class midfielders do instinctively. Here's the secret. 20 minutes of intense wall passing can give you more quality touches than a full team training session. And the best part? You control the tempo. Fast, slow, 1-touch, 2-touch, you set the rhythm of your own improvement. But football isn't just about passing. Sooner or later, you'll need to beat defenders, to create something out of nothing. And for that, you need a weapon every pro attacker develops: dribbling mastery. Most players think dribbling is about having a library of flashy skills.
Step overs, elastico, flip-flaps, they spend hours copying highlight reels. But here's the truth. The best dribblers in the world don't rely on 20 tricks. They master a few, and they execute them with insane control, timing, and confidence. Look at Messi. He doesn't spam 50 moves. He beats defenders with body feints, quick touches, and acceleration. Look at Arjen Robben. Everyone knew he was cutting inside on his left, and they still couldn't stop him. So what separates effective dribblers from ineffective ones? Control at speed. If you can't keep the ball close while sprinting, no trick will save you. Body movement. Sometimes the fake is in your hips, your shoulders, your eyes, not your feet. Confidence and simplicity. A perfectly timed change of direction is deadlier than a complicated combo. Here's how you train this alone. Drill 1. Speed touch runs. Set 2 markers about 15 to 20 meters apart. Dribble as fast as you can from one end to the other, keeping the ball under tight control. Use both feet, vary your touches, and challenge yourself to run at full speed while staying in control. Drill 2. Lane dribbling. Create an imaginary lane, or use cones. Dribble through it with quick, small touches, shoulders slightly leaned, like you're running past a defender on the wing. Don't focus on tricks, focus on balance and control. Drill 3. The 3-move arsenal. Pick just 3 moves you want to master. For example, step over, body feint, Cruyff turn. Now, every session, practice them slowly, then at match speed, then in random freestyle dribbling. Train until they feel like second nature, because when a defender closes in, you don't have time to think, you just react. Drill 4. Pressure simulation. This one is fun. Shadow dribble like there's an invisible defender right on you. Imagine he's lunging in, trying to block your path. React with fakes, quick turns, and bursts of acceleration. This simulates the chaos of a real 1 versus 1. The goal isn't to look fancy, it's to be unstoppable. When you combine close control, speed, and 1 or 2 deadly moves, defenders start to fear you. And here's the crazy part. You don't even need to be the fastest player. If you control space, disguise your movement, and explode at the right time, you'll look faster than everyone else. But dribbling alone won't win you games. Eventually, you'll find yourself in front of goal, and that's where the next skill separates good players from great ones: finishing. Becoming a natural goal scorer. Scoring goals looks like magic from the outside. But the truth is, finishing is a skill you can sharpen on your own, if you train the right way. Here's the first rule: finishing isn't about power. It's about timing, accuracy, and composure. That's why the best strikers, Lewandowski, Haaland, Benzema, make it look effortless. They don't smash the ball every time. They guide it, place it, and wait for the perfect moment. So how do you train this without a keeper or full-size pitch? Drill 1. Target shooting. Set up cones or small goals inside the net, or even against a wall if you don't have a goal. Aim for corners, low and precise. Don't just blast. Focus on hitting your targets consistently. Think about passing the ball into the net, not killing it. Drill 2. First time finishing. Drop the ball out of your hands or let it roll naturally and strike it first time. No settling, no perfect setup. This builds the instinct to finish quickly, which is exactly what happens in real matches when you don't have time to control. Drill 3. Weak foot dedication. Here's where strikers separate themselves. If you only trust one foot, defenders will force you onto your weak side. Dedicate entire finishing sessions to your weaker foot. Even if it feels awkward, over time, it becomes a weapon. Drill 4. Pressure simulation. Imagine scenarios. Pretend a defender is closing you down, or a keeper is rushing out. Take one touch and finish fast, or turn quickly and strike. The more you visualize real pressure, the more natural your finishing becomes under stress. Drill 5. Volley and half volley mastery. Throw the ball in the air, let it bounce once, and strike, or hit it straight from the air. This improves timing, balance, and confidence in difficult situations, the kind of chances that separate highlight goals from missed sitters. And here's a secret. Finishing alone isn't just about mechanics. It's about repetition with imagination. Every time you shoot, picture the game scenario. Defender closing in, goalkeeper diving, crowd roaring. Train your mind to stay calm in chaos, because at the end of the day, a true goal scorer isn't the one who hits the hardest. It's the one who stays composed when everyone else panics. But football isn't only about attacking. To become complete, you need to defend, even when you're training alone. If you're still watching right now, here's something you need to realize. You're already ahead of most players. 90% of people clicked away after the first minute. You didn't. You stayed. You're hungry. You want to improve. And that alone puts you in a different category. Training alone isn't punishment. It's freedom. It's where you take control of your growth, turn weaknesses into strengths, and build skills that make your teammates notice. Every instinct drill, every juggling session, every wall pass, every finishing repetition, it's all building a version of you that's faster, sharper, and more confident than anyone else on the pitch. But here's the final secret. Don't fall into the trap of training without love. Don't grind mechanically. Don't chase numbers. Fall back in love with football. Touch the ball, feel it, play freely, react instinctively. When you combine intention, consistency, and passion, Improvement doesn't just happen, it accelerates. So take action. Build your weekly plan, follow these drills, and dedicate yourself to the process. Fall in love with the ball again. Train smarter, not just harder. And the next time you step onto the pitch, you won't just play, you'll stand out. Because greatness doesn't come from talent alone. It comes from the hours no one else sees, the work you put in when nobody's watching. And now, it's your turn.